Yo, what is good, YouTube? And welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best shooting guards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. And I just want to say, as I'm going through these positional rankings, I did it with point guards yesterday, and I noticed the same thing. And now I'm doing it at shooting guard as well. There are guys who aren't making this top 10 list who I still see often online, and I think are very much competitive level cards at the shooting guard position. The one thing I will give 2K a lot of credit on as of late is that content has just been really good. There are lots of different very good options at pretty much every single position that can be used at a high level, which is something I'm a huge fan of because, I mean, y'all are going to see some of the guys at the back of this top 10 are elite cards that you see almost every game. Like, there's just a lot of really good cards at these positions right now, which is a good sign. It's one of the things that I do like about the pacing this year is that it does seem like there are a ton of very equally matched options at these positions, which makes for a lot of opinion, which is good. Gives people the option to run different guys and have different options for different price points and different skill sets, which I personally entirely support and think is very, very good. Before we hop in, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 18,000 subscriber mark on the channel. We're trying to hit that by the end of the month of January. I understand last couple of days of videos have been a little chaotic. I apologize, but we're right back in our groove, and just a little over 300 subscribers away, so trying to hit that by the end of the month. We're pretty close. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Number 10, and we're starting off with a hot one. Kawhi Leonard at number 10. People are going to be like, what in the world? Kawhi is my favorite shooting guard in the game. Why are you have Kawhi so low? Look, Kawhi is great. But for me personally, at the shooting guard, y'all are going to notice something. Shot creation is very high on my list of requirements, in addition to just overall versatility. And also, you will notice as we go through this list, these cards are so close together. You could make an argument for Kawhi in the top 5 very easily, and I wouldn't argue with you. But for me, he's at number 10. Now, I like Kawhi's release a lot. I think he's obviously an incredible defender, and playmaking and slashing-wise, he certainly is not bad either. But he is not an exceptional playmaker, in my opinion, and that, combined with the fact that he doesn't have a movable enforcer, that's kind of an important badge, doesn't get every badge, which a couple of guys ahead of him do as well, which I think can be a little bit of a difference maker. There's just a couple of small things that you can kind of nitpick at with Kawhi, and for me, those are the few things that do hold him back from being any higher than this. With the same time, though, I mean, Jimmy Butler's who I have at number 9. Level 40, amazing card. A lot of people are still using Jimmy, and for great reason. He can get every single badge. He's super complete. Jimmy's number 1 flaw, though, is even with every badge added, his release is just a little teeny bit questionable, and he is a good playmaker, but he's not a primary ball handler. There are a couple guys high on this list that I think are more so primary ball handlers than Jimmy is. I mean, his size up is fine. His dribble style's meh. His behind the back's okay. His movement is fine, but not amazing. He's a good card. Very versatile. Very elite, for sure. I just think it's pretty fair to put him at number 9 with how deep this position is right now. Same thing with Ron Artest at number 8. Like, all 3 of these guys, these 3 are staples in people's labs. You're going to run into these cards all the time. All 3 of them are incredible locks who have nice offensive ability as well. Artest has an elite release. For him as well, it's a lack of shooting badges. It's a lack of shot creation. I mean, the shot creation isn't terrible, but he's got no unpluckable, which is a really important badge against some of the elite defenders that are out in the game right now. No Agent 3 blinders, Deadeye, limitless range as well. He's got an awesome release. He's athletic, and he does absolutely defend his butt off. He's one of the most complete defenders in the game, which is the main reason I have him the highest of all 3 of these guys, because of having a movable enforcer and everything. I just feel like his defense, even over guys like Jimmy and Kawhi, who are incredible defenders, I give him the slight edge as a defensive card. And to me, Ron Artest, especially with that Rudy Gay base as well, is just, he's incredible. He's still my backup shooting guard. So I just want to say I have the 8th best shooting guard in the game on this list, but you could make an argument for him higher than this, and I still have him as my backup shooting guard. Now, Jerry Sloan is who I have at number 7. I will say, Jerry Sloan, this is a card not that many people have, and I think he's a name where people go, hey, he's not going to be that good. But he's 6'5", 6'8" wingspan. I understand he's small, but the ability to get every badge on this card, in addition to the defensive versatility, is what I love, because he's got the defensive versatility of a Kawhi or a Ron Artest with 94 feet, anchor, challenger, clamps, fast feet, glove, interceptor, off-ball, pester, right stick gripper, all on Hall of Fame. But he's also got elite shooting badges, Hoff, blinders, catch and shoot, corner specialist, green machine, guard up, slippery, off-ball, gold, Agent 3, and limitless range. The ability to get every single badge added or upgraded, which he can actually do, even though 2KDB says he can't, means you can add things such as speed booster, posterizer, handles for days, stuff of that nature to really make him far more complete as an overall defensive and offensive card, really. His release isn't incredible, I will say, and neither is his movement, but Pro 2 Fade is very, very good. Movement is fine, and I just love the ability to be more complete on both offense and defense as an overall card, and for me, it gives Jerry Sloan a slight edge. I was actually very impressed with that card when I used him. At number 6 is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has probably the worst release of anybody on this list yet, but when you look at how complete he is, stats and badge-wise, I think it's enough where you still got to give him a slight edge, because, I mean, he's got all the finishing badges: bulldozer, fast twitch, precision dunker, posterizer. He's got half catch, corner, deadeye, limitless range, precision dunker, or sorry, blow by and speed booster, in addition to challenger, clamps, glove, off-ball pest, having anchor, half red stick ripper as well. He's got elite defense, elite shooting, elite playmaking, and elite finishing. All the key, well, most of the key important Hall of Fame badges really across the board in all of those areas, which is a really, really big deal. And I think it's one of the things that kind of separates this Jaylen Brown is, even though his release is not great, he is so good in every other area that you can't not put him pretty high on this list because of how amazing he is. This is not probably a card that will be in lineups long term, and it's certainly not a card I would recommend locking in, because you have to lock in the whole Eastern Conference of the Season Rewind set for this card, and it's kind of expensive. But he's very good, and if you do have him, he's still an elite option. T-Mac is who I have at number 5. I like T-Mac. I don't think his shot creation is amazing. He's not a primary ball handler at all. SIGs are just not good enough for it. So I understand the playmaking, shooting, and finishing badges are unbelievable, and he's a solid defender who's also 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. All of that is awesome. He's one of the best offensive cards in the game, but the problem is the movement is not that amazing. His escape isn't good. Braun dribble style is fine. Gives you a decent push cross, but not insane. His behind the back, being Lillard, messes up his whole misdirection. And then his release is awesome. Normal fade is good, but his upper isn't unbelievably elite. It kind of takes away from how good the base is. And like defensively, he's not a incredible lock either. So, I mean, there's a ton to like on paper about this card, and yet at the same time, I think it's fair to put him at number 5. Number 4 is going to be Desmond Bane. I understand he's only 6'5". I understand he's one of the very worst slashers on this list. Whoops. But Desmond Bane is a really, really good card. 6'5", short wingspan. I get it. He doesn't have incredible size, and he's only got a 75 driving dunk. But he does have gold bulldozer, fast twitch, precision dunker, posterizer, which are the foremost important finishing badges, so that's good. His shooting badges are unbelievable. He's one of the best shooters on this list for sure. In addition to half blow by, half clamps, half glove, he's got anchor, he's got the defense, and he's got the playmaking. The thing that I really like about this card, though, awesome release and really nice movement as well. He's got a great escape. John Wall's drag back is one of the very best. MJ dribble style is also awesome with normal fade and an awesome release. I mean, this card actually has really, really good shot creation ability, which most of the guys on this list simply do not have in terms of their animations, and that combined with incredible shot making ability as well, and still being a very solid slasher and defender. For me, I do believe Desmond Bane deserves to be in this top 4. I think that's totally fair. MJ's at number 3 because I think he's actually the best dribbler of anybody on this list, in addition to maybe the best defender and the best slasher. Like, MJ's defense, shot creation, and slashing is unbelievable, but his release isn't very good, plain and simple. So on paper, he's the best card in the game, probably realistic right now. At least he's a base card with the speed, the shooting, the defense, the slashing, the all-around badges. He is probably, at least as a base card, the best card in my team right now if you look exclusively at stats and badges. With that being said, his release is not that good, and that is not going to work, especially when you think about the fact that the top 2 guys, I bet y'all could probably guess who those 2 guys are, but we'll get to them in a second, have elite releases in addition to being great in every other area. MJ's shot creation is unmatched, one of the best dribble styles in the game. Kimba escape is top 2 escape in my team. Hard behind the back is elite. His release is not amazing, but I don't love his fade either, honestly. I don't love his shot animations, his shooting animations, because his playmaking animations are amazing. His defense is unbelievable, and he's an incredible slasher. He just doesn't shoot the ball that well. He's a very good shooter still when he has space. He's got amazing shooting badges, 94 3-ball, all that, but the release is a little baited, and that certainly holds this card back just a little bit, and it's enough to put him only to number 3. I can't put him any lower than that, but it holds him back a little bit. Scottie Pippen is just the evolutionary version of Ron Artest, Jimmy Butler, and Kawhi Leonard. He is those same cards with an elite release, obviously, just like, I guess, especially Artest and kind of Kawhi have. But 95 speed, 92 3-ball, 95 driving dunk, incredible all-around defense. He's got everything those guys have in addition to Hall of Fame speed booster, Hall of Fame blow by, gold limitless range, still an elite slasher, and maybe even better shot creation than those guys have as well. Pro dribble style is good. Jimmy's size up is nice. I kind of like it. I mean, and I think overall behind the back is fine. He doesn't have an incredible drag back. He doesn't have unbelievable shot creation, but Pro 2 fade is great. His release is elite, and he's just far more complete stat and badge-wise overall, especially on the offensive end of the court, than guys like Artest, Jimmy, and Kawhi are going to give you in terms of their shot creation ability. And I think that, combined with the elite release, combined with being one of the best blocks in the game and all that stuff, puts him at number 2. But number 1 is, without a doubt, Kobe Bryant. He's still the best card in the game. He's been the best card in the game for what, 2 months now, basically. I mean, I guess he's actually been available pretty much to the community for about a month, but I am really glad I locked in Kobe. I didn't lock him in the first week he came out, and I wasn't going to lock him in because of the price of those sets, but a lot of things changed with the way that those sets wound up being released. I got a bunch of the cards for free as well, and I wound up locking in Kobe, and I do not regret it in the slightest. He's my favorite card in the game, and he's the best card in the game. His release is incredible, not to mention having amazing shot creation, very MJ-esque in the stats and badges all the way around in terms of how complete he is. It's not quite as impressive, I guess, but every single badge being upgradable is huge on him. And his release is one of the very best, quickest, and smoothest in the game, as well as the fact that I really like his fade, which is a big difference maker compared to MJ. He's very MJ-esque across the board. It doesn't have quite the shot creation of MJ, but the shooting is so much better that it's not even close. And to me, he's distinctly the best shooting guard and the best card in the game. I think by a decent margin right now. He's basically, I know he's not Tim Thomas in the way that he's not an unknown player who became the best card in the game the way Tim Thomas did, but he's kind of this year's Tim Thomas. Card with incredible longevity as the best card in the game for a very long time. So with that being said, that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what y'all think of my top 10 in the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.